I will proceed to deliver Mr. President's message. He says, I should tell you, and I quote, "It is my singular honor and pleasure to be in your midst to address this distinguished gathering at the opening ceremony of the first International Cocoa Summit taking place today in our nation's capital, Abuja. This event is another milestone in the nation's determined effort to diversify its economic base through aggressive production and marketing. This initiative represents in itself the innovative Nigerian spirit and determination to set our country on the path of true economic diversification. This summit is an excellent initiative that will go a long way in opening the Nigerian economy to local and foreign investments while encouraging strategic partnerships necessary for the resuscitation of the cocoa subsector of our economy. The purpose of this summit is to reposition the cocoa subsector to regain its lost glory and bring to the fore the strategic importance of cocoa to our national economy in line with the economic diversification policy of this administration. This summit is therefore designed to be part of this administration's agricultural commodity revolution, with cocoa as one of the main drivers. Cocoa is the second largest foreign exchange earner for Nigeria after crude oil and has generated over 2 million jobs directly and indirectly along its value chains. The sector has suffered neglect as a result of our over-reliance on crude oil. This led to decline in the country's annual production from 420,000 metric tons in the 60s to just 192,000 tons in 2015. The consequence is Nigeria's drop from the 4th to the 7th position in the global cocoa production arena. The summit is therefore expected to address this trend so as to lift the country up to its prime position occupied in earlier times. I understand that the theme of this summit is cocoa, a strategic commodity for national economic development, which underpins the nucleus of the present administration's change agenda that intends to continue with policies aimed at diversifying the Nigerian economy from a mono economy depending almost entirely on oil revenues to other sectors like agriculture, solid minerals, ITC, and services. This theme is very thoughtful and timely, considering the significance of the cocoa subsector to the growth of the Nigerian economy. This theme demonstrates that the only way to put the nation on the path of sustainable economic growth and development is through the promotion of the non-oil sector of our national economy. There is no doubt that this summit will serve as a veritable tool for key stakeholders in the cocoa subsector to interact in a frank and pragmatic manner to discuss the systemic, institutional, and regulatory obstacles to the development of the sector. It is my expectation that this summit will prefer simple, practical, and result-oriented solutions that will boost the consumption, marketing, and growth of the subsector, and to ensure that Nigeria reclaims its prime position among the leading cocoa-producing nations of the world. Our administration believes in the central role of the organized private sector as the engine of growth of our economy, and will therefore work towards strengthening the productive sectors, developing an outward-looking export promotion strategy and a domestic consumption policy, and ensuring a steady progression in the development of the agricultural sector. Ladies and gentlemen, as a government, we understand the need for our domestic producers to operate and compete favorably with their counterparts from other nations. In this regard, government is working hard to improve the business environment for both local and foreign investors, as well as encouraging the development of domestic consumption. I want to urge you all to join hands with the federal government to improve the production and export base of our economy by increasing production processing, packaging, and marketing of our non-oil export commodities. Let me assure you that the federal government is committed to restoring the agricultural sector to its prime position before the discovery of oil came into play. I therefore wish to use this occasion to call all stakeholders to support and key into the government policy of promotion of non-oil export as an alternative source of revenue. If all hands are on deck, the policy will not only boost our country's economic growth and development, but will serve as a roadmap towards genuine industrialization and integration of our economy with other developed economies of the world. I am aware that one of the challenges facing industrialization here is the high interest rate regime. Government is working hard to provide support for industrialists at one-digit interest rates. My administration is therefore ever ready to implement the decisions of your summit, which will accelerate the economic growth of the nation and assist in the realization of this policy of diversification. There is no doubt that Nigeria is long overdue to make the shift from being primarily an exporter of commodities and raw materials to becoming an industrial economy. Our industrialization ambition is hinged on the Nigerian Industrial Revolution Plan, launched by the Jonathan administration in 2014. It is now time to move that comprehensive document from plan to action. To this end, we are focusing on identifying and supporting a select number of industrial sectors in which Nigeria has comparative advantage. I hereby call on all relevant stakeholders in agriculture, industry, and other productive sectors of the economy to strive to achieve higher standards, seek local and foreign markets, and show the world that Nigeria can achieve excellence like other developed economies. Let me also seize this opportunity to appeal to all Nigerians to patronize made in Nigeria goods and services as a way of encouraging our industrialists to grow the economy and create jobs for our children and grandchildren. It is my fervent hope, therefore, that the gains of this summit and the exposure that will be acquired would, to a large extent, assist us to move the Nigerian economy to an enviable height. The challenges are no doubt very daunting, but equally surmountable. With your support and resilience, we should be able to offer the best to the world through the development of the various sectors of our economy, using the right technology as well as conforming with the rules and best practices in operation elsewhere. It is my expectation that at the end of this summit, more investors, foreign and local, will take advantage of the opportunities provided. We, on our own, will help farmers clear lands and gain access, in partnership with state governments, to large hectareages of land which are not in short supply in this country. We have at least 45 million hectares of land available for cultivation. Please take advantage of this resource. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to commend the organizers and sponsors of this summit for their hard work, diligence, and commitment, and for the excellent arrangements put in place to make this event a huge success. I'd like to seize this opportunity to welcome the leadership of the International Cocoa Organization and Afrexim Bank, together with our foreign participants, resource persons, speakers, and discussants to this august occasion. I also acknowledge the role of our various development partners in making this event a success. I want to thank the Ministry of Trade and Investment, the Permanent Secretary, the Honorable Ministers, and all the staff, and all of you, members of the local associations of agriculture, especially cocoa. Do not give up, because if you do, the future is lost. But if you insist and persist, the greatest days of Nigeria are yet to come. God bless you all.